How much do you owe?
I want to say about 16K. 16K.
16,000.
Yes,
What is it for?
16K. Um, so it's actually from the original bed is actually just from I would live. I used to live with my mother, and that was the only source of income.
Mm-hmm.
It's just my mom and my siblings. I'm the oldest one. My dad is not really in the equation in terms of
Yeah.
providing or anything like that. So I was the main guy for a long time, and then when my fiance came in the picture, she started helping out. My younger sister got old enough to work,
Mm-hmm.
even though I didn't want her to work, but she started working, so things got better.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, I moved out, but the lump sum of that debt is literally from. I'll tell you, it's literally from Connet. Connet, for a lot of people, is maybe $70, 100 at best. For my
Mm-hmm.
home, it was anywhere between 300 to 600. You know,
Wow.
and that's on top of rent. And I know the wiring is incorrect, but it's just one of those things where you kind of just deal with it, and for the lack of just not knowing what to do really.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I do have strategies that I've been implementing. I have my spending account that you've requested, and that's actually been really helpful just in terms of like peace of mind and just keeping your head straight really.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I'm not a big spender, but it's good to have this swipe and not think about it.
Yeah.
But I do have my plans. I manage my finances as well as my girlfriend's finances, and
Mm-hmm.
we're at a place right now where we don't make the most money in the world, but we're making the most we have as a unit after
Okay.
moving out.
How much does
So
she
we have a
make?
vacation. I only make so my actual salary is 60K.
Six. That's a
Um,
lot of money, man.
well, I mean, I'm happy about that. Don't get me wrong. So I was so I can tell you, I guess my role. My role was a part-time like teller slash customer service guy.
Yeah.
And this is like the time that I first started watching your videos and stuff like that. I was then promoted to an actual like financial advisor, banker, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So then my salary doubled, like because before it was on the low 20s, then it went up to 60. Uh,
Awesome.
so
Well,
then of course when you do overtime, it projects to 80. But again, you have bills, you have your game plan, right?
mm-hmm.
So my game plan is essentially just you get take money for bills for things that you absolutely have to spend,
Mm-hmm.
for vacation funds, emergency
Mm-hmm.
funds. Again, this is all things I'm learning from you.
Mm-hmm.
Have your spending account, which you don't think about it, it's just automatically
Mm-hmm.
set to the side. We did fall back a little bit in terms of the emergency funds because one of our pets sick and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we're like working on it again. So
You
what
live
I
with your
did,
fiance?
yes,
You guys have like a shared account or something?
yeah, we have multiple share accounts.
How long have you guys been together for?
We just 5 years. We just made 5 years.
When you gonna get married?
Why is everybody asking me this?
I
Dude,
ask because it's very what I'm here. It sounds cute, right? But it's very dangerous to. She's a roommate. She's your fiance in a way, right? But she's living with you, but she's not your wife. Legally, you have no protection there. So it's very dangerous to align your assets with someone that legally there's no association there. There might be the trust level, but until you're married, I probably wouldn't recommend. I had that same idea also, and then I pulled back because I learned from other people, and I don't have to make mistakes to actually go through things. So I'd probably pull
yeah.
back from the joint accounts and stuff like that until you actually get married. When you become married, you have two wholes become one. But until that's why, for example, if you heard I'm going to Puerto Rico, but I'm not taking my fiance there because I'm not. We're not gonna live together until we get married. We're not gonna have a joint account until we get married. There's that section of protection there, and it's
Mm,
dangerous. For example, for her, like I buy a house and I'm like, I don't really like this anymore, or she says I don't really like this anymore. Then what happens then? It's my house. Like, what are you gonna do now? You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I'd probably like kind of like it's a conversation too, because you already gave her that feeling and you already have that feeling also. So now saying like, hey, maybe let's just wait until we get married. Now it's a whole different thing. So think about it a second, right? But on top of that, what I'm hearing is my videos, they're pretty good, but you don't get the full picture a lot of times. There's a lot of different videos, but the whole picture is basically The first step is you want to get out of debt, right? You want to save $1,000 for emergencies, and you want to work towards getting out of debt using the avalanche method, meaning you pay the debt with the highest interest first. In your case, if you owe $16K on Con Ed, you could potentially call them and try to negotiate down on that. Especially now during the whole pandemic thing, it's a lot more easier to negotiate with those people. If you can negotiate that down, your whole goal here is to try to pay this off and stay out of debt. And you don't have any student loans or anything like that?
No, thank God, no.
Okay, awesome. But I wouldn't be investing in anything until I'm done with this debt. Once I'm done with this debt, my next step would be, hey, I want to, by the way, there's obviously no vacations and stuff going on just yet, because again, unless you're saving like around $30 per week and then you actually get to do that at the end of the year, that's fine with me. But there are no really like a crazy vacation fund because you can't afford it right now because you're still in debt. Then my second step would be, I want to save for 3 to 6 months worth of emergencies, right? That way that money is there and secured, while I might be investing like 5-10%. The third step is usually you start to save up money for a home, but because you do live in New York in the city, you gotta use a rent versus buy calculator to make sure it actually makes sense for you. But even in that case, because again, you're not married, I might just pause that section and say, hey, I'll invest 10-20% of my income once I have everything else. But then the big goal is basically, I want to gather some money and put that money towards saving up for the wedding.
You've got to start